Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, bud?
How am I?
Yeah.
I'm doing all
well,
right,
before
pal.
you say why you're doing all right, I'm going to come out of the gate with, it begs the question.
Yeah, what's up?
Because all day long, all night long, all we've heard on this radio station is about the amazing New York Met comeback. And, of course, the Rangers winning game 2, which is a side story right now. But the New York Mets scoring 7 runs in the 9th inning and beating those no-good Weasels in Philadelphia 8-7 after being down 7-1, right?
Yep.
Great. Biggest comeback in a quarter century. Blah, 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 blah. Now let's keep it real. How many of you watched it?
Well, you know the answer with me.
I just want to keep it real. I actually watched it.
Why were you watching it?
Because I was going back and forth because I had the Ranger game on.
Yeah, but at 7-1, why are you going back and forth? Like after Jairus Familia pitches I'm barely sweating 10-pitch 1-2-3 inning, why would you ever flip back to the
Mets? Because I have kids who like watching sports. Like, hey, Dad, it's Lindor hit a 2-run home run. Hey, Dad, Alonso doubled. Right. Hey, it's just like that.
You know what I think happened, Craig? And also,
I don't think anybody watched it.
Here's why I think you're wrong. I think that in this Twitter world we live in, people left the Met game. No doubt about it. I won't dispute
100%.
that. And I think Twitter sometimes gives you enough updates for one to say, "Oh, let me see what's going on."
Okay, so all right, let's. I think there's some truth to that. Mm-hmm. When though? At 7-4, 2 men on, Dom Smith up?
Right.
Like, at what point?
So I heard...
Well, there's 2 stages to this. Number one, if you're going to be the guy that goes, I watched the whole game, great, fine, okay. Take that guy to the side.
Well, that's me, by the way.
Fine, I will take those calls, too. If you left the game, and who could blame you? 7-1, it's a wrap. At what point, and be honest, did you say... Let me just check it out.
Well, it's risky because I think there are some who went to bed, who never went back. I think that, like my old partner, the Ranger game may have made things different because the Rangers were playing and there was a post-game show and there was a win. I think there were people that may have gone over to Rangers post-game, the conclusion of the Ranger game, and then checked back.
But I think didn't end at midnight.
No, it didn't end. But neither did the Met game. The Met game ended.
It was relatively early.
Right, because it was a 6:45
20, whatever it was, yeah.
But I think that the risk of just going to bed and not seeing anything until the next day may have been offset by the fact that there was another New York sporting event going on.
Yeah, I just want people to keep it real. Like, I listened to the station a lot today, and in my head, I'm like, there's a segment of fans, you're among that segment, that you're going to watch every pitch, and you probably watched it on DVR later today. Right?
I was about a half hour, 45 minutes behind.
So you're going to watch it because that's your team, that's your thing. You're a baseball fan. I'm not saying that animal doesn't exist. I'm sitting next to one. I respect that. But let's keep it real. All day long, it's been the only thing talked about on this radio station. And in my head, I'm like, liar, 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 liar.
Yeah. No, you're right.
You didn't watch the entire game. Come on.
Because how many people in a 7-1 game
where
99.9% of the time you lose? Why were you still watching?
Yeah.
So I think there's a group of people that never saw the 9th inning that either found out about it the next day or later that night. And then I do think there's a larger group of people that trickled back. That at some point during that inning, whether it was the Lindor home run,
but even the Lindor home run made it 7-3,
yeah,
right?
But at 7-3, it's a little bit more like, all right, load the bases, tying run comes to the plate.
I think with a lot of things, this is my gut on it, because of social media and Twitter and the ability to edit stuff on the fly, which a lot of people have the ability to do, there were a number of accounts that very quickly put out every hit. Was it 8 hits in the inning?
Yeah.
Every hit, the Gary Cohen call or the Harry Rose call. And literally within an hour, you very quickly could have been up to speed on it and been excited about it and talked about it.
I thought Tierney, and I respect him for being as honest as he was earlier, represented what I think a lot of people did. So what BT said was he was watching the Ranger postgame show. Rangers had a great victory.
Yeah.
He's locked in. He flips back right before he's like, all right, I'm done for the day, and sees the final score.
So he didn't see it,
and says, what the hell happened? And then obviously goes back and watches it. So I think there were a lot of people that never saw this until it was too late.
Yeah. I think that's, it's just funny to me. It is a great comeback. It's a great story. I mean, every aspect of it. The managerial decisions, the clutch hits. I'll tell you, maybe the biggest play in the entire inning is Marte running out the infield single.
Marte down 7-1
Because I'll tell you this right now.
Busting his ass.
If that's Robinson Cano, that's an out.
Well, yeah, mainly because Robinson is not as fast, but yeah, the hustle
you
on
get my
that play.
point. Right.
Smelling a base hit on that play, no doubt. No question.
I want to hear from you because it's a great moment, and we should all enjoy it. It's a great moment. And I don't want to diminish what the moment was, especially because it happened against a team we despise.
It also disproves a theory you invented.
What's that?
So Craig Carton invented, no one else, the theory that there are 60 games you win, 60 games you lose, and then those 42 in the middle. This last night was a game you lose, period, stop.
No, that's why it's one of the 42.
No, it's not.
It is.
That's a loss. When you're down 7-1 in the ninth inning and you have no shot against Jairus Familia and you couldn't hit Aaron Nola, that's a loss. So the New York Mets last night, they went into the batch of 60 that you lose.
They stole one.
And they stole one.
Yeah, and listen, that probably evens out at some point, but it's great. And it's even better because it happened in Philadelphia. It happened in a city we despise, and no matter who you root for locally, you always root against Philadelphia. And I thought it was great. But at the same time, there's a lot of people fronting and flexing right now like they watched it, and you didn't. And that's okay. I mean, that's what happened, 7-1.
Well, that's the story. Like, when we talk about this game, and I want to make this clear, if the New York Mets win the World Series, yes, this is a game that's on the highlight video.
It goes on the DVD.
If the New York Mets miss the playoffs, this is like the Todd Frazier game from 2019, which I think select diehards remember, but you have no idea.
Now.
And I don't blame you for. So this game will be defined by where this season goes. Like, we look back at games from 1986, even though I don't remember it, and games from 2000, and they're more memorable because of where the season went. If the season doesn't go anywhere, this game is a lot like the game it's being compared to, the game against the Expos in 1997. They didn't make the playoffs that year. They didn't win that year. So that's something we remember as diehards. But the regular fan kind of lets it go away. So let this team have that great postseason success, and then it'll be glorified. Then it'll be a game we'll never forget 30 years from now.
I think it's fantastic. You should all enjoy it, of course. But let's just be honest about watching it. That's all
I
I'm
still
saying.
can't believe you watched it.
I did. Shocking, right?
I mean, that doesn't make sense to me.
Well, because I think I went indica instead of sativa. I think I ate the wrong one last night, so I didn't fall asleep the way I normally do.
Right.
I was all amped up.
Yeah, but why?
And I had nothing else. Nothing else to do.
Why didn't you go to one of your rom-coms you normally go to? Or why
because
didn't you
they don't put me to sleep. That I mentally engage with the rom-com.
Oh, so you went to the baseball.
I can't go to bed in the middle of Maid in Manhattan. Are you kidding me?
So you went to the ninth inning of a 7-1 game to go to bed.
No, not ninth inning. I was checking it out throughout.
Really?
I was a little antsy last night. I was a little antsy last night.
So because you checked out the entire game, let's give major credit to Adonis Medina. How good was Adonis Medina?
Yeah.
The guy got 8 outs last night.
8 outs last night.
Never gave up a run.
And he was only in there for mop-up duty.
Well, that's what we thought.
Yeah. And it turned out that, and by the way, the Phillies probably going through the motions at 7-1. Let's get out of here, go to Chicky and Pete's, have some crab fries, and call it a night.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
But, yeah, great win. Great win. You know, the Rangers had a great win, too, which there's a lot of people nationwide now talking about arguably the greatest hockey analyst in America.
Who's that?
Who has been on point with hockey predictions.
Valaket?
Who?
Valaket?
I have no idea who Valaket is.
He's the former goaltender, does the
no,
postgame show.
I don't know who that is.
Mark Messier?
Mark Messier, yeah. By the way, Mark Messier, you're wrong. Wayne Gretzky said so. So I'm off that wagon, too. No, it happened, I guess, yesterday at about 6:15-ish, 6:12-ish, where there was a hockey prognosticator that announced publicly that the New York Rangers would score specifically 3 goals in the second period and specifically predicted a 5-2 win. Why don't we go back in time? I'm pumped up for tonight's Rangers game, I got to tell you.
Are they going to win?
All right, yeah, 5-2.
Look at you.
Yeah, 5-2 Rangers tonight. It's a walk.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
I got to hand it to
Say
you.
what you want about hockey. All you fake experts, Boomer. Yeah, one guy in this building knows his hockey, and that guy's apparently me.
Look at you. I'm proud of you, pal. I'm proud of you.
By the way, with 4 minutes to go, they pull the goalie. I'm like, I'm going to get screwed here. They're going to score an empty net goal.
I know.
For 4 minutes, they had an empty net.
So that had you glued to the final 5 minutes of this game.
4 minutes empty net. They brought the goal in once for the face-off on an icing.
Right.
But outside of that, the Rangers didn't score with 4 minutes on an empty net. So I got very lucky on that.
You got very lucky.
But we'll get all your calls, 877-337-6666. There's an interesting thing happening also right now. The Mets game is postponed tonight. No Mets-Phillies. They'll make that up in August. And the Yankees, of course, about an hour or two ago, also postponed their game tonight against the Texas Rangers. They're going to have a doubleheader on Sunday. And there's a lot of people really pissed about that. A lot of people. Sunday is Mother's Day. So it's one thing to tell your mom, all right, I got to go to the Yankee game. It's 3 hours, whatever. Now you're telling your mom, I'm not going to see you at all on Mother's Day. And there's a lot of people upset with the Yankee decision. They couldn't move it to tomorrow because the weather's supposed to be lousy tomorrow.
It's going to be worse tomorrow.
So they moved it to Sunday.
Right.
But Sunday's Mother's Day.
But the Yankees don't have a choice.
Well,
like the Texas Rangers and the New York Yankees had their first series postponed in Texas because of the Rob Manfred-led lockout.
So maybe they just never play the Rangers.
So just can't. Well, trust me, you'll want to play the Rangers.
Yeah,
Craig.
the way they're playing right now, I do. So we'll get that throughout the afternoon. That's it's putting a lot of people out right now because everyone has Mother's Day plans. Whether it's a barbecue, going out for lunch or dinner, and feting your mom. Now the Yankees are like, what's more important, your mom's or Yankee baseball?
You're looking at it the wrong way.
You're not bringing your mom to the game.
No, you're looking at it wrong. There are a lot of moms who love their baseball.
Yeah.
They love their New York Yankees or New York Mets baseball. And I know there are a lot of moms celebrating the decision saying, oh, my God, I got 2 baseball games on my day? Let's go.
Take the word a lot, or the words a lot out of that in front of moms.
Decent amount.
Are there some moms? Yes.
We will hear today over the course of our show from numerous Yankee mothers who are going to say, I am so happy about what's happening on Sunday because I'm a mom and all I want for Mother's Day is multiple Yankee baseball games.
Yeah. By the way, at 7-1 in the ninth, did you wager on the Mets to come back and win the game?
Did I?
Yeah. Did you in-game bet on that?
Let me tell you something. Now, first of all,
60-1?
I was at a disadvantage because I wasn't live, so everything I'm behind on. Yeah. But there's no way I would have made that wager because there was no sign from this baseball game, not a thing, that the Mets were going to come back and win this game. This loss was set up by a Francisco Lindor error in the first inning. Let's all be honest about that. That's a double play, and maybe Taijuan Walker gets through the first inning. Yep. There was no. Then they put a couple of guys on base. Dom Smith hits one to the warning track a few innings later. Craig, there was nothing about this game.
I agree.
That told you the Mets were going to come back. There was no chipping away. There was nothing. So even if I was live, even if I saw 60-1 odds, I would have looked at it as, why am I wasting my money? That's like lighting money on fire.
I agree with you. Somebody must have done it, but I haven't met the person yet. Here's Vincent in Astoria. Vinny, what's going on, buddy?
Gentlemen, yes, last night I was watching the game at my restaurant. I left at 7-1 and driving home, and I had the fan on. I was listening to McPherson with Steve Summers, and I walk in the door at my house. My wife has the game on. She's asleep, and I go, what are you watching this crap for? We're getting our asses kicked. Shut the damn channel off. But she left it on. I was too lazy to go into the living room, change the channel. I was making some dinner, a late-night snack, if you will, heating it up, preparing it. Next thing you know, 7-3, 7-5. I'm like, holy crap. And then, of course, I watched the whole thing. So it was just by sheer luck that I was too lazy to walk into the living room and put the Ranger post game on. So I actually happened to watch it, but not by design.
When you got home, if your wife was sleeping and the TV was off, would you have ever thought to check out the score?
No. I would have. If there was another sporting event, I would have put on something, but I was too lazy. My kitchen is adjacent to my living room. We're talking, walking 15 feet over to literally pick up the remote and change a TV channel, and I was just too lazy to do it.
See that? You got to thank your wife for falling asleep with the TV on.
So then what happens? You go to sleep, you wake up the next morning.
No, he saw it.
No, I'm saying if he did.
Oh, if he didn't, he goes to bed,
and then what happens?
Wakes up, and his buddies at the restaurant are like, Vin, can you believe last night?
Can you imagine that?
And he's like, what? No way. He was 7-1.
I got a tweet from a guy named Anthony who tells me he was in Philadelphia last night. He went to see Mets Phillies. He left the game early.
He went to the game?
He went to the game in Philadelphia.
As a Met fan.
As a Met fan, and left the game early.
He's going to eat that one, but is it, like we said, can you blame him?
No, and look, you would have.
I would have left that game in the 6th.
Yeah. Oh, you may have left even earlier.
Maybe the 7th.
Remember, the Phillies scored 4 runs in the first inning. You may have been out of there by the 4th inning.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been out of there for sure. There's no doubt I would have left that game.
Last night is why I stand by this. I may not be in the majority anymore with the popularity of sports, but last night's why baseball is the greatest sport ever created. Because in the NFL, there's a moment, Craig, where the game is over. There's just a moment. Time-wise, the game is over. There's nothing you could do. NBA, same thing. There is a moment, 2 minutes to go down 30, no comeback, the game is over. In baseball, you truly never know.
And yet you guys are all trying to shorten the game.
I'm not trying to shorten the game.
Yeah, you are.
I'm trying to speed up the pace of the game. Very different.
Thus shortening the game.
No, it's not. It's crazy.
Doesn't if it's a faster pace, it's a shorter game.
You're getting the same amount of action in a shorter period of time. It's completely different. I'm sorry.
But the
wrong.
idea is that the games will be played in less time.
You're saying
are we not saying
the baseball game and make the action occur more frequently.
I like that. But in doing that, don't we also shorten the length of the game?
Well, I don't want every game to be 4 hours long.
I'm just asking.
Don't turn this as an attack on me and others.
I mean, the beauty of the sport's what you guys are all bitching about, too.
This sport has lengthened over the years. It's not the same game that it was 10 years ago. It's not. Like, games take longer, but that's not the point. The point is, no game is over. And let this be a reminder to managers who bitch and moan about running up scores. There's no such thing as running up scores. Well, think about it. If the Philadelphia Phillies are trying to steal bases in the 8th inning, should we really have an issue with that? They needed every damn run they could have last night.
I agree with you on that. By the way, 4 o'clock today, the official, although it seems like it's leaked out already, Pulse of the People nominees, or at least the first 2 nominees, will be announced. 5 o'clock, the blame poll. I have no idea what you have to blame somebody for this week if you're a New York fan. And a reminder that the first Friday of Memorial Day weekend, we will be broadcasting live from DJ's in Belmar. The morning guys couldn't find a place that wanted them, so we've allowed them to piggyback on top of our idea of doing the show from Belmar at DJ's, which is based solely on my personal relationship with DJ's. And they are going to do the show there so that they feel like they're part of the community.
Did they say?
And it's our pleasure to allow them to jump on our backs to be a part of that show.
Did you get a thank you about that or no?
No, thank you. I'm glad the whole station's going to be there. Now, Boomer doesn't want to go, but he's going to go because I was told to go. And we'll be out there from 5 a.m., the warm-up show, all the way to 6 p.m., our show. Kiki and Tierney will be there, and it's going to be great. Lifespeed's going to be playing there. We got a DJ from the block coming to play. It's going to be awesome. And I just want to thank the fan for setting it up and my friends at DJ's for, like I said the day I came back, the only show I'd ever do there down the shore would be at DJ's, the first show ever. And you're all pumped up. Look at you.
I'm very excited.
Evan's wearing tank tops around the building all day.
I'm not wearing a tank top. I don't want to intimidate others with my muscles. It's just not right.
There you go.
It's not fair to Tiki. It's not fair to you.
Very true.
I'm gonna hide these guns and keep them a mystery to everybody.
I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.